Um, I know that there are two prompts to this assignment, however, I'm going to dive deeper into the second one. The questions it asks is that the article speaks about the granting of a physical sex label at birth and how that places gender expectations upon the infant for the rest of its life. What does this mean to you? To me, this means that whenever an infant is granted a physical sex at birth, it is almost as if they have to abide by that for the rest of their lives. The article talks about those with intersex traits. So for them, it would be hard to just say that they're either male or female, and even harder for them to fall into a certain category. The second question states that the authors state, without a neatly assigned sex, a child might not fully be a person. What's your interpretation of that? My interpretation of that is that we are so used to what is socially allowed and socially acceptable that for some people it wouldn't be right to not firmly assign an infant a sex as soon as it is born. Therefore, they would not fully be a person because, again, that is what society deems as normal. By the suggestion of asking who is it rather than what is it, I think it could impact American society significantly. It is not only something that is really normal and, again, socially acceptable, it would be challenging for most to not actually assign and categorize an infant with a specific sex. Throughout this article, the writers focus highly on the fact that sex is more complex and diverse than we as a society are giving credit to. Especially when an infant is born and we ask what is it instead of who, the writers suggest that we could challenge ourselves to dive deeper into sex development. I assume the most personal example I could give for this prompt is that I am sure I too have asked what the gender of an infant was before it was born. I think that it is pretty normally widespread question that is asked whenever one is about to have a child. However, I do appreciate this article as well as the first because, like I previously said, it can challenge us all to maybe look at sex development and gender in a different form.